Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Transfer Window Show. It's Jazz. It's the West Ham Minds channel. Transfer Window, as you know, is truly up and running and live. Before we get into the latest, exciting, interesting, shocking, sometimes surprising West Ham transfer gossip, just a reminder to everyone that, yep, today is Tuesday, the 30th of January, and the transfer window closes at 11 p.m. on Thursday, the 1st of February, closes at 11 p.m. That means we've got all of today, all of tomorrow, and then all of Thursday, more or less, to conclude transfer. So we've got three days left, really, until the window kind of closes, really. So still a bit of time there to do things. Obviously, welcome to the regular subscribers. If you haven't subscribed or you're new, welcome to the channel. It's Mad Jazz. Jump on the Mad bandwagon. We're heading towards 3,000 subs. And yeah, subscribe, watch, share it. And yeah, we will kind of keep you interested throughout the season, one or two other things. And we are planning to bring you one or two new things and also bring back some of the old guests, really. But before, let's just get into it straight away. The first thing, obviously, you guys want to know is, and again, you know, all the news I bring you is kind of after checking with a number of reliable, well-known key sources, really, because if you didn't and you did a show on every single player that we've been linked with, I don't think I'll have enough time, and it'll be a waste of everyone's time and that kind of thing, really. So as you know, Calvin Phillips has joined West Ham, and really looking forward to him starting straight away at Bournemouth, more or less, and hopefully doing well enough to earn himself a permanent contract. He's a truly class player, one of the best defensive midfielders in the country, England squad regular, English born obviously, and really equally looking forward to him joining, and equally looking forward to seeing the midfield trio of Ward-Prowse and Alvarez work together. But obviously I did a show before saying there's a lot of stories out there saying that they think Alvarez will not be playing in the next couple of league games, more or less, shall we say, rested, dropped, or just taking it easy for now, or Moyes is going to try something different. So we'll see. It'll probably be Ward-Prowse and Calvin Phillips in the Bournemouth game. But listen, you never know. But those are the stories that I covered in my last program. Anyway, always get distracted. Let's get back on track. So what's been developing? What's the latest news, you're asking, Jazz? So let's kick off with Osman. We covered this player in the last couple of shows. He's very young. He's from Ghana. He plays on the left wing. He's one of those, again, like Bowen and Kudos, who's a right-footed, plays on the left wing, about 19, plays in the Denmark League. For me, I'm not really interested either way, because there's nothing there that makes me kind of have any confidence in terms of how well he'll do for us. It's too much of a risk. As I mentioned in that show, he's only played 30, 40, 50 games at the most in the Danish league. It's very raw. I mean, obviously, there's a few things he's got up his sleeve. Pace, likes taking on players, got a few shots and assists, that kind of thing in his game. But for me, he's a player for the future. I can't see him joining or being any close to being in our first team going forward. And that's exactly what the comments this morning, as an example, are coming from Connor Davis-Solomon, really. So, it appears that Ibrahim Osman deal appears to be off for now. Couple of issues, too many agents involved, and obviously the club's evaluation is too high. Too many agents involved whose demands are too great. This is according to David Sullivan, who said, quote, both the agent's demands and those of the club were too high for a player who won't be ready for 6 to 12 months anyway, and was always going to be a gamble. So that's kind of coming from him. The player is in dispute with an ex-agent as well, so it all became impossible to get the deal done. This means attention is likely to kind of shift to Jota. I have not covered this player so far, actually, so I will cover him. Let's go through all the transfer news and gossip, then we'll jump back on with Jota. Jota's obviously playing for Al Ittihad in the Saudi Pro League. He joined them from Celtic in the summer. So, yeah, before I go into what I think about Jota, what he's likely to bring to West Ham, what's going on, let's kind of crack on with the rumours, really, and then we'll go back into it, really. So let me carry on. Before going back to Jota, Benrahma is obviously another one I'm going to cover in this show. It appears, thankfully for in terms of West Ham and fans like me, our case, and Benrahma's case, and getting his career back on track, because he's absolutely been wasted at West Ham. He's not fitted in. He's not really Premiership class. At least he's not showing it at West Ham anyway, and it's just not good for him, not good for my heart, not good for the show. He just sits on the bench, comes on, doesn't do anything. But yeah, it appears finally that Lyon have finally made their move to sign Saïd Benrahma, Lyon of France. Yeah, it appears that it's in the region of 15 million plus add-ons. I think that's a fantastic offer from Lyon. As I said, all these clubs abroad are skin, and they rarely have any money, or certainly do pretend they haven't got any money. And I wasn't expecting to get anywhere near 15 million for Benrahma, who's going to be 29 in his next birthday, everyone. But I hope this doesn't mess up, because West Ham want closer to 20 million, and listen, say what you want about me. They're saying that we're not going to accept. We want a bit more money. The other reason we're not accepting is we haven't got a replacement in. Listen, I don't give a shit if we haven't got a replacement or not. Grab that 15 million before they change their mind with the add-ons. Get a sell on value if you want, and just take the money. We'll get someone in. If not, I think we will make do without him. He's got nothing to offer, even if he stays with the club. It's just not happening for him. There's too many things wrong. His confidence is on the floor. He's not reliable enough. He's not consistent enough. He doesn't seem to have any kind of long-term personal relationship with David Moyes and that kind of thing. It's not good for anyone, right? And yeah, just take the money and stop pissing about, really. Let me see whatever happens. Right, back to the Osman deal. There's news filtering through. They reckon that Brighton and possibly Spurs are in for him. But then, listen, they're going to find it equally complicated. I think there was that player that I think it was the Fiorentina centre back, wasn't it, from Serbia, that we kind of even flew him down here for a medical, and it just didn't happen. And then he went across to Spurs to have a chat. It didn't happen there either. So just kind of backing West Ham. I mean, it isn't because we don't want to pay the money, or we're being lazy, or there's internal wrangles between Tim Stuyton, Moyes and Sullivan. There is issues there, and even if Brighton Spurs have come in late minute, well, it doesn't look like it's going to be done anytime clear, really. Just checking one more thing with Benrahma. Yeah, so that's kind of on that front. Again, before going to Jota, let's carry on with the Jota links. Agreement yesterday. Yeah, everyone knows now. Agreement's been reached. But you know the way the headlines are, agreement's been reached. When you really dig deep, it means agreement has been reached between Jota, the player, and West Ham United, and personal terms. That's been agreed, but that's only half the story, isn't it? Positive talks are going on between Al Ittihad and West Ham. Sources feel clubs can reach full agreement. Jota waiting for the green light from the clubs to travel to the UK for medicals, and I think this has got to go one way or the other today. I know there's 3 full days left, but he's in Saudi Arabia, and I'll rather get him flying into UK today. I wouldn't want to do that on the last day, and certainly if you are in discussions and talks, you know there's only 36 hours left, and they've been talking for 2-3 days already, and we've got to have some movement either way on it. Either we do it or we don't. And what seems to be one of the issues is apparently, if you're in Saudi Arabia, you're earning tax-free money. You've got to keep doing that for 2 years if you're going to keep that tax status. If you come back within the 2 years back into a normal country like UK, where we do obviously pay taxes, then he will have to pay tax on what he's earned so far. We're looking at 200 grand. I'm sure we can sort this shit out one way or the other. Worst case scenario, Jota takes half the hit. We take half the hit. Either Jota wants to move or not. The only way it can't go through is Jota keeps arguing with Saudi to say you pay the 200 grand, and then West Ham just get fed up waiting, and then it collapses. It's one of those stupid things that has happened in certain transfers in the past. Either Jota really wants to go out there, put his career back on track with a really good club, West Ham, 6th in the league, really great squad, or he wants to piss about for 200 grand over there. It's up to him. But that's kind of with that. Fabrizio Romano, literally 52 minutes ago, again confirming West Ham are still trying to find a way for Jota deal with Etihad. Negotiations remain complicated due to salary and tax reasons, but talks took place again on Monday, which was yesterday. And again, Fabrizio, on a second point, is confirming that West Ham remain in talks with the Texter Group for Jota Benrahma to join Olympique Lyon in the final days. We are being linked with a player I ain't got a Scooby about, everyone. It's Ajax's 28-year-old English striker Chuba Akpom. I don't know nothing about him. Apparently Crystal Palace, West Ham, Wolverhampton, Everton, we are all interested in him. Again, breaking news. Yeah, Lyon have officially submitted that 15 million plus add-ons for Benrahma. Benrahma is believed to be keen on the move. Thank fuck for that. However, the bid has not been accepted by the Hammers. That's coming from, again, a great reliable source, David Ornstein. So listen, West Ham, take that money, stop fighting about, get the 15-20 million in, and then pay the 20 million for Jota or whatever, and get that kind of thing done. What else is being done? Yeah, those are the main kind of news that are filtering through. What we're going to do now is I want to go into Jota in a bit more detail for you guys. So let me just share my screen. What I love to do. Here we go. Coming up. Have a patience. Coming up, Mr. Jota. Right, let's see if you can see that, you naughty people. Right, Mr. Jota. If I kind of go like that, do you see less of it? You do, don't you? Okay, let me go back in there again. Okay, Jota. So, Jota, as I thought, Portugal, because we know another Jota at Liverpool, don't we, everyone? 24 years old. He's going to be 25 in March. He's a left winger. Portugal under 21, 18 caps, 5 goals, but interestingly enough, no full international caps for Portugal. Right. What is he been doing? Right. Al Ittihad, not much to talk about. 2 goals in 11 games. Hasn't really settled there for one reason or another. It's been kind of not in the team. I'll leave it at that. Don't want to go into dropped or not. I don't want to go into that. So 11 games, 2 goals, no assists. Something clearly is not right there, because he's clearly better than that. Right, Celtic, 83 games, 28 goals, 26 assists, 4 yellows. That, without me even going into anything else, that just tells you what he's about. He's a left winger with a kind of a goal every 3 games. Well, 3 games, shall we say. A goal every 3 games, assist every 3 games. Left winger, that tells you, like what I've seen in terms of footage, he's exciting. He's skillful, he's exciting, he's clever, he cuts in, he cuts out, gets to the byline, comes in, has a few shots, tries to make things happen. He's all action, he's exciting, right? Before that, Benfica, about 70, 80 games, 11 goals. Again, wherever he's been, it's a reasonable amount of goals, reasonable amount of assists, and in terms of yellow cards, he's relatively a good lad anyway. Let's have a look at the transfer values of Jota in his career. So he went to Al Ittihad of Saudi Arabia for 29 million euros. Market value at the time was 30 million euros. Celtic paid 16 million euros from Benfica July 2022. And before that, it was just, continuous loans between Celtic and Benfica with him, really. So that is that. Let me show you something else, as I always like to show you lots of things. So let's see in what formation more or less he played with Celtic, really. So let's kind of share that with you as well while we're on it. Here we go. Right, this is an example of, yeah, because I like to see where these players have regularly played. I didn't want to go into the formations and lineups in Al Ittihad. Again, it's a good fixture I picked up. It's a Rangers Celtic match. Celtic obviously lost, but yeah, it was a 4-3-3 system at Celtic, and Jota's on the left, so 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. He plays on that left side, really, so that didn't take long, did it, really? So listen, I'm fine with Jota coming in. I'm fine with a lot of players coming in. It's all about getting the deadwood out and fresh in impetus in. You need to freshen up that squad, that team. It's natural. It doesn't matter how good you're doing, how bad you've got to just do it. You can't be stubborn like Moyes and say, I'm not doing anything, I'm happy with what I've got. You cannot do that. Even if a team has won 2-3, say they've won the triple, if they don't sign anyone in the summer, nothing's going to happen the following season. It's natural. You've got to change your squad, right? And I'm happy with that. And again, for me, for the clubs that, we talked about Benrahma and people like that and Kera, it just hasn't worked out for them, right? And I'm not really worried about if it happens for them elsewhere. For me, it hasn't, right? And I don't want to go into why it hasn't, whose fault is it? Is it their fault? Is it the manager's fault? Is it the formation's fault? It just hasn't fucking worked out for them, right? And I'm not even going to say they're a bad player. What I will say, they're a shit player for my club, West Ham, as far as I'm concerned. That's it. That's what I go into, right? I'm not fucking rocket scientist where we're kind of Skamaka's going to go and bang in 40 goals a season while he's fucking struggling anyway, right? So I don't want to go into that and, giving you examples of all these Sonny Perkins fucking, one of our own fucking lads has thrown a wobbly because he won 60 grand a week and he's gone abroad and done fuck all. Harrison Ashby's fucking scratching his balls and some Doncaster reserve fuck knows where he is anyway. So yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm about our club and what I see with my eyes. If there is a clear sign that Moyes is fucking about with a player, I'll say it. Or formation's not right? And I've said it. And that's why when we link with players, I have to look at how they're playing, what lineup, what's their attributes, how they're going to fit into our system, and I'll tell you if it's going to work, if it's not going to work, really. So that's why I wasn't keen on the Osman deal. He did play in the left wing, which we need, but he's a player for tomorrow. And do we have 15-20 million for a risk like that? From a Danish league? Not for me. He might be all right if we were really rich, really, really big team. I mean, really doing well. We could afford not to see him for 2 years. But West Ham, we need people hitting the ground, right? So if Benrahma's leaving and Osman's coming to replace him, but Osman ain't ready for a year, that's a waste. That's a waste for me. Money down the drain. The squad hasn't benefited. The first team hasn't benefited. No good. Jota, no problem. He'll hit the ground running. Celtic, Scottish League, really big club, reasonable league. Portugal, Benfica Academy, like the Sporting Lisbon Academy, very, very famous all over the world. That Benfica and Sporting Lisbon, I think, in the whole world together, even individually, they make the most money out of any other country or clubs in terms of churning out players. Player after player after player. In the Premiership, most of them, every year, one or two of them go for 50 to 100 million from that chain. And if he's from that background, and listen, I know the Scottish League ain't strong as ours, but you can only do what you can do. And he's banged in like loads of goals, loads of assists, right? And if we can get him out into our club at 24, 25 years old, I think that's worth a punt, and he'll get you off your seats, I think, hopefully. Not sure how much he tracks back and tackles. I don't know about that. That'll be up to Moyes to get him up to speed. But it's an option, isn't it? It's an option. So I'm kind of happy with that. I'm happy with the money Benrahma, what we're going to get for him. I didn't think we were going to sign a striker this window because we have got 30 odd million at the moment, stretching 35, I think, for a Marquez striker signing. But if the right one ain't available, which is often the case in January, then I agree. Put it back in the safe in the bank. And then by then you'll know if Moyes is staying or not, and then keep that money in the summer and we go again. And hopefully we have a good season. We get close to qualifying for Europe. We get a good run in Europa. And it's just a case of fine-tuning some bits in the squad, hopefully. It's going to be very interesting in the centre-back area for me. I think we got issues there, right? So it's going to keep an eye on development of Mavropanos, what kind of mental state and form Agard comes back with, because I've not fucking been happy with him. I'm absolutely fucking shocked by the kid, right? So he's got to pull his socks up when he comes back and learn how to fucking defend, right? Got to keep an eye on him. Fingers crossed that Kafal Emerson don't get injured. Yeah, and Johnson again. You guys are right. He's we're still not sure about him. I mean, yeah, he's beginning to pick up a little bit of form in January, but that's only one game, isn't it, everyone? So let's see how his contract talks happen. Let's see how Mubama's contract talks happen. I don't know if Mubama's going to go on loan or not, which would be really good for him, but I don't know how far Antonio is from coming back and that kind of thing. So we'll kind of see what happens with that. That's it from me. But then again, listen, like I said, I'm going to do another show later on this morning on another big development story happening. So watch that. That show will be going out shortly after this one, really. But yeah, listen, I'm going to shoot off now because I've got to do another show, and I'll jump back on if anything worthy, any good kind of link with any player that's kind of confirmed by a lot of people and worth talking about. I'll kind of let you guys know. So have a good morning, and I'll catch up with you guys shortly. Take care. Come on, you irons.